Alright, so this is another part in the rebuild series that I'm doing of a couple of dicky things on my saw that Hyway Parts were kind enough to send me some replacements for. So I'll get these bits out. I think that's all I got sent. Yep. Cool, so I have the new starter spring here, the starter pulley, and the starter rope, and I'll be reusing the starter poles from the top. That's not a problem. First thing I'm going to do is get my original rope, and I'm going to pop that off and just let the spring uncoil itself. Then I'm going to undo the T27 Torx head on top. So pull that screw out, make sure you don't lose that. Pull out your two little pawls, make sure you don't lose those. So that's that. That's the old pulley, and I'm not sure if it was the pulley that was causing this to stick or it was the spring, but Hyway were kind enough to send me both, so we'll see. I'm just untied that knot, pull it out of the pulley, pull the rope out, and I'll keep this rope around. This is the stihl Elasto Start. I'll just do a quick comparison to the Hyway one. So same geometry. The Elasto Start, the Hyway one's more like the stihl originally is. I actually broke the rope on this one, so I basically repaired it with a couple of knots. I might show you on another video how I did that, because it's a $3 piece of rope opposed to a $10 piece of rope with the little plasticky grommets on it. So that's good. You can see, you might be able to see the graininess of the plastic on the Hyway one as opposed to the stihl one. But I'll chuck it in, see how it goes. Now that I've taken that out, I've got the spring in. I'm lucky that this spring actually has a little casing around it. So what I'm going to do, I'm basically going to start pulling it out here, and then just work around and pull it up, maybe, we'll see. Yeah. So that pulled out, and I think the problem is that, focus, you see the little hook there at the end of my finger? That looks pretty bent and worn, like it's been rebent a couple of times, so I'm just gonna chuck the new Hyway parts in. I'll keep these around as spares, because spares are good and they're OEM parts. Before I go any further, I'm going to give the inside here a wipe out, make sure that's all clean. So now I'm going to go with my spring, remove it from its little bag, and then it has a little plastic casing on it. These scissors I got for the shed are probably the best tool I've ever bought. If you don't have scissors in your shed, guys, you need scissors in your shed. And these ones are a set my gran gave me. They're actually sewing scissors, but the blades were too long for her. But they're perfect for in here. So with this pulley, you can see that the spring, it actually has a loop, not a hook. So my OEM one has quite obviously stretched out a bit, So that's not a problem. This, all I'm going to do now is sit it over where it's meant to go, because Hyway have been kind enough to actually send the spring. They make it with this little casing that stops it unwinding, and then simply you just push it down, or maybe if you're like me and you're impatient, tap it a little bit and then pull that off. And pulleys out of this, and it's in there. From here it's pretty simple. You get your pulley whether you're reusing it or not. This Hyway one looks good. There's a little bit of a plastic lip finish there, but that's fine. Again, it's kind of got that little bit of graininess that the handle has, but not quite as much. It's got the same chamfer size as the OEM one. So I'll show you what we do now. What I like to do, I thread the rope in from the top, get to the pulley, feed it into its little hole there, and it comes out. Don't tie the knot yet. You pull it and you can see there's a hole that goes through to the other side. Thread it through that hole, and then kind of close to the end I just tie a little overhand thumb knot, pull it nice and tight, because you don't want any super bulky knots. Pull that into the pulley. Now let's get the pulley to fit into here. Now the important part, you get your little black or white, depending on which saw it is, little starter dogs. They're the bits that flick out and bite onto the flywheel and turn the saw over. And my little screw with the little wire bit on top. This is the vital bit now. You can't forget to do this. So you get it, you push it in, and as you're screwing it down, as you're getting close to the point where you're going to be putting the wire bit over the starter dogs, you want to make sure you hold it in place. You hold them in and you bring it around, screw it down, nice and firm, and as you can see, that wire is now sitting over the tiny little nubs on those starter dogs. I reckon I might have tightened that too tight. Yeah. Also, don't tighten your little nut too tight, because otherwise your pulley doesn't spin freely and you're stuffed. So now what I do is I wrap the starter rope up. People think, oh yeah, you wrap it up and then you let the spring take it back. It's actually easier to wrap it up until you've just got about that much. And then what I like to do is I basically just go one. Sometimes I do. This rope's a little bit thicker than the one I'm used to, so it actually sticks out of the pulley a bit. But what I do is I go 1, 2, 3 turns, let that take up the slack, and then that just gives you a nice positive lock back in, all the way out, all the way in. And my number one tip is, when you're taking it in, make sure you guide it in. Don't just let it flick in. Because what happens is your handle flicks down, smashes into your little mesh grill, and screws everything up for you. So, I'm happy with that. I'm not sure how I totally feel about the Hyway Elasto Start handles. I'm still to make up my mind on those. But I'll take this to work for a couple of days, get it going, and see what my opinion is after then. So I'll just slap the flywheel back on. So you just slide that on. Nice positive lock. Get my screws. Screw those down. So, yep, screwing these down. Yep, there's another screw here somewhere. I'll find it. Cool, so thanks for watching.